Hey, y'all. Welcome to Black Span. I'm going to make this really, really quick because I want to kind of expound on or explain why we all have this ghetto fucked up mentality. And what made me want to do this video was that I was driving it down the Beltway and I was the lane it was easy tag and then it was the pay for lane. The pay for lane there was a medium right here. So I hit my brakes trying to get behind this girl that she didn't and she hit her brakes too. So I was like, oh, maybe she's trying to let me go in front of her. So I sped up to get in front of her and she sped up. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I shook her and jumped in front of her. Like, bitch, look, you can hit my truck if you want to. Number one, I could buy another. Number two, I got insurance. Number three, my insurance gonna fix it. So whatever option I gotta take, I can go and take that shit. So what you wanna do, fam? So I swung on her, jumped in front of her, and this is the flipped out part. Homegirl followed me the whole time. Like, we was on the Beltway trying to... She was, like, mashing her engine. Like, bitch, you in a Malibu, bitch, you gonna fuck your shit up. I'm in this stinking Lincoln, bitch. These hoes go. So, she bobbing and weaving, jumping in front of me, hitting her brakes. So I record the bitch on my phone. So in case I end up running the back of this hoe, they could see that she was vehicularly antagonizing me. And, you know, she was trying to force me to hit her. Because, bitch, you know, my insurance ain't going to pay you no motherfucking money. I'm going to tell you that right now. They going to fight you tooth and nail for they give you $1. So I'm like, why she thinking so small and so ghetto? Because, number one, you could have just let me over. You see, I'm about to run into a medium. So it's either hit this car or hit this medium. Bitch, I'm taking my chances with this car. I'd rather fold your shit up than hit this fucking concrete wall. Bitch, I'm telling what's going to happen to me or my passenger. So... Anywho, it just behooved me. And then why you would try to shake me up the freeway, bitch. Look, bitch, I damn near hit that bitch one of them tumblers. Bitch, don't play with me, bitch. I got a bullet that'll whoop, 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 do cartwheels in your shit, bitch. A surgeon want to be able to put your ass back together, bitch. Anyway, be fucked up like Humpty Dumpty trying to play with me, bitch, because I don't fight no more. Anyway, so it got me to thinking, why do we vibrate on such a low frequency? Like, what was it? And I was like, the projects. Because a lot of people don't realize the projects were social experiments. Number one, they wanted to decrease our thought process when it came to the value of property and land. Now, remember, during Reconstruction and Jim Crow and civil rights, we owned shit. Back then, it really wasn't no rent, no house. It was owning. You buy a house, you live in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? So during the time of the creation of the projects, or aka the ghetto, depending on where you from, which hemisphere you from, they also had the buffering, the homeowners association, the redlining, all the things. And I'll do a separate video on the racism behind buying a home another time. So we can understand terms like redlining and blockbuster and all that kind of stuff. Excuse me. So that same thing was going on, and it was pushing us towards projects. You know what I'm saying? So let's discuss what a project is first. We all went to college. We all went to high school. If you didn't, don't worry about it. I went to college, and it wasn't nothing but fun for me. Goddamn, I got 2 degrees, and I ain't working in there on one of them, except for on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But for an experiment, number one, you need an objective. You need a controlled environment. You need a variable to introduce it to that controlled environment. So, for example, the Tuskegee experiments, the controlled environment was the Tuskegee. The objective was to see how syphilis affect the body. The controlled environment was Tuskegee was Tuskegee itself, and then the variable was the syphilis disease. You know what I'm saying? So that's the project. You see what I'm saying? So the controlled environment is this apartment complex. You know what I'm saying? The project. You know what I'm saying? Then, you know, the variable is going to be crack, pot poverty. There's a many variables that took place to try to see what can we do to curb this ambition and this go-getter attitude that these black people have. Now, mind you, that during Reconstruction, Jim Crow, after slavery, mind you that we were some of the richest people. We had so much money till they had to defraud us and steal our money. Look up the Freedmen's Bank. I think we lost like $76 million, or what would equate to, 76 million today, or today's dollar, it might have, as much as it's inflated over time, it might have been a cool billion, that they stole from us in the Freedmen's Bank. So that's why everybody got that mentality that, your grandma and them, they had their money in their mattress or in a shoebox or stack it up somewhere. They don't really, what you want me to say? They don't really put it in the bank because they don't trust the financial institutions, because they just rob you blind like that. What happened during Reconstruction and Jim Crow time period. So let's think about the projects. Let's go back to the ghettolized mentality that a lot of us have, and the reason why we got $4,000 every 2 weeks from unemployment and nobody started a business. The reason why the most successful dope dealers don't try to legitimize their money. I had a meeting with several drug dealers that I knew growing up and said, look, this grocery store is behind on this taxes. Let's pay the taxes. Let's own this bitch. Get everybody to go to this store. And then the other grocery store down the street on Homestead and Tidwell was behind on their taxes. We'll buy them too, and we'll be fucking millionaires, or y'all will be. You know what I'm saying? Just cut me in. I ain't want a piece of the pie. Or I could help y'all run it, be y'all regional manager for a cool little salary. And that'll be a way for y'all to get out the streets, and you can stop poisoning your people. One, you can stop poisoning your people and you can get out the streets. But no, it's like the thrill of the hunt. Motherfuckers just want to sell dope. I don't get it. I don't understand. Because once I made enough money, not that I ever did it, but once I made enough money to legitimize myself, that is what I did. So, anyway, so they got the projects. Then you got the variables they're going to introduce to the... First, you got to get the people in the projects. So they start redlining and everything, getting people to move into apartments instead of buying houses, not realizing that this elevator not going to work after a while. You think you live in a high-rise. No, ma'am, you living in a project. Go to the projects in New York and see what's fees on the staircase, piss every motherfucking well. Yeah. Fuck around, get robbed and shot up or raped in the staircase. By the time you get to the 15th floor, tired, out of breath, all that shit. Tim's fucked up. Go to the projects, the real projects in New York, and see how you fare. And I ain't talking about like in Texas or Louisiana where they got these little wards and shit like that. I'm talking about the real projects. Because remember, black people damn near owned New York at one time. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about after Seneca Village and Enemy Domain on the Aboriginals. I'm talking about during Reconstruction and Jim Crow. You know what I'm saying? Because... anywho, that's a different video. Let's stay on point. So the reason why we think like we think is because they convinced us that, number one, this little apartment with no fees and no lawn and all that shit is better. Why go buy, we're going to say a house back then was like $20,000. Why finance this $20,000 house and have to pay, hustle up on this $200 a month? And have to do all this lawn care and all that stuff where you could get in this apartment and it's and you know what I mean? But and it's only $50 a month. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing numbers out there. I haven't researched the financial of what was what back in those days, but they made it look a lot cheaper. And then they put your nigga out, we'll let you stay here for free. You see what I'm saying? So let's fill this project up with single parents. What we're trying to do is trying to get the men not to be so good. Because our men were great. I'm talking about they loved that mahogany skin. They wanted to be with black women. They loved black women. They yearned us. They put us on top of the world. They got a check. They brought that check home. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they spent a little bit at the juke joint and stuff like that, but they brought that check home. They took care of family, took care of their kids, raised their kids. I'm talking about the men like Tiana Daddy in The Princess and the Frog. You see what I'm saying? So... let's talk about the purpose of the project. Number one, to destroy the black family because they realized that's where the strength was coming from. You know what I'm saying? So in order to destroy, that's the main objective. So in order to destroy the black family, what can we do? We can't really use drugs because these motherfuckers, we gave them heroin and after the war and that shit still didn't work. The black woman just helped pick her man up off the ground. So they're thinking more progressively now because now we're entering the 1900s. And in the 1900s, you know what I'm saying, that's when they start, in the late 1900s, that's when they finally got crack. You know what I'm saying? But that's after studying melanin and realizing melanin was an alkaloid. Remember, all this stuff happened simultaneously. This stuff, you know what I'm saying? I mean, concurrently. It's not like, oh, this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. It's like, you know, if you want to say slavery, for example, you know what I'm saying? All those countries invaded Africa at one time. It wasn't like first the Portuguese went, then the Greeks went. Oh, and then here come the Spaniards, you know, and then, oh, here come Mussolini and them, you know what I'm saying? Let's go rape and kill everybody in the Congo. No, all that shit happened at one time. Africa got jumped in its whole self. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't separate things and separate wars. It was Queen Amina. It was all the queens, King Tut, the Zulus. They were all fighting all their wars at the same time. You see what I'm saying? Africa was going through it. They was in turmoil. So the same thing happened to us here. We got jumped. Just like Africa got jumped, Turtle Island got jumped. You know what I'm saying? We got jumped. And it's kind of like and when they destroy your mind, they destroy the way you perceive things. Because remember, perception is reality. The way you perceive things is what is in your reality. So, for example, my perception on cultural appropriation is not a white bitch wearing braids. My perception on what cultural appropriation is all these bastard biracial offsprings of the colonizers claiming that they're indigenous, claiming that they're the true Indian when they're not, when I am. You know what I'm saying? We gonna act like the paper genocide never existed. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. So that's my idea of cultural appropriation. When you have a lot of people that's mixed with Italian, Portuguese, and check out my $5 Indian video down below and you'll see what I'm talking about because I got into it with a $5 Indian. But when they mix up with Italian, Portuguese, and things of that nature, and then instead of saying you a mixed person, you want to say you indigenous, you aboriginal, and now you know my chants, you know my rain dances, you know my rituals to get in touch with the other side, to talk to my ancestors. You know what I'm saying? You got all these things that I don't know. That's cultural appropriation. That's stealing a culture. I don't give a fuck about a bitch dressing black. What the fuck is dressed in black? Anybody can go buy some Versace or some Armani and get their hair braided back. Like, everybody fucking wear braids. When you get ready to go to the beach, I don't give a fuck what race you are. Braids. When you going on vacation, I don't give a fuck what race you are. Braids. Like, fucking stop that shit. You know what I'm saying? Culture appropriation is actually stealing a culture. To appropriate something is to take something. So taking a hairstyle ain't shit to me. But taking my language, my native tongue, my land, now that's appropriation. That's what it is to me. So they were trying to get us to think that cultural appropriation. This is my example. This is my analogy. That's why I want to explain it. They're trying to get us to think that cultural appropriation is dressing like me, talking like me, and stuff like that. Instead of cultural appropriation being the theft of your language, your headdress, your native tongue, things of that nature. So they downscaled our way of thinking. Remember that they say it's levels to this shit. So they got us from thinking like this to thinking like this. You know what I'm saying? Now they got us vibrating on a lower frequency. They got us thinking on a lower frequency. They got us not even trying to commune with our ancestors anymore. Like, that's something that's not even done. That's voodoo, and voodoo is bad. You know what I'm saying? When voodoo is just when spirituality meets oncology. You know what I'm saying? That's when the spirits meet the land. There's nothing wrong with spirits meeting the land. There's nothing wrong with thinking that you're killing grass when you kill it. There's nothing wrong with letting a spider live that didn't scare the fuck out of you, that's outside minding his motherfucker. Now, you come in this bitch's home, but out there, you good. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with being one with the universe. There's nothing wrong with knowing which herbs gonna kill massa and which herbs gonna heal the scars. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, study what voodoo is before you demonize it. They done demonized it and now, but they're using it. You see what I'm saying? That's cultural appropriation. How you gonna tell me voodoo is bad, but all you do is voodoo? That laws of the universe, and that's fucking law of attraction, like attract like, and all that shit, all that is fucking voodoo. All that is voodoo proverbs, like all of that shit. But they got you thinking it's bad and it's demonized, and all you see is the black man trying to chase and rape the white woman on them old black and white silent films, and that's what voodoo is. So, how do they get us to turn on each other? To vibrate at low frequency and not respect one another no more. Put us all in poverty, number one. Now, The projects have 2 levels to it. So you put us all in the project. I don't know why I'm writing on this envelope. You put us all in the project, right? And then you take your bastard biracial offspring that you created, because that's part of colonialism. You cannot colonize the land without creating a bastard offspring. Then you have to go to the land. You have to rape and steal in order to colonize. Then you start stealing what they got and mix it with what you got and make it something new. That's literally what colonizing is. So then you take your bastard offspring. You put them in the projects. Then you take your bastard offspring and put them in the projects too. But your bastard offspring gonna be shining in the projects. They gonna work hard. They gonna get out the projects. You know what I'm saying? So they're also there to cause discontention. You see what I'm saying? This is where colorism come from. So and they say opposites attract. No. Because even my mama said that shit don't make no sense. Because when she was younger, it didn't matter what color you were, you wanted a dark-skinned man, and it didn't matter what color. Now they got you thinking, oh, light-skinned people like dark-skinned people, and dark-skinned people like light-skinned people. Because that's opposite. My mom was like, that's some bullshit. We just all mixed and mingled and did what we did. But most people, my color, or your color rather, dated people your color. You know what I'm saying? It was more of a like attract like thing. You know what I'm saying? Not no opposites attract. So they caused discontention. So everybody wanted, even though Al B. Shore and them weren't born in, everybody was trying to get all the women wanted Al B. Shore, all the men wanted a Paula Abdul. I don't know what color. Is she Mexican or mixed or whatever? I don't know. Whatever. Y'all get the point. So that's another variable. So add the drugs in there, add the poverty, and add the colorism. You see what I'm saying? So now with those 3 variables, we can vibrate on lower frequency. We can be more critical and judgmental of ourselves. And we can start oppressing ourselves or adhering to the new oppressor, which is the light-skinned mixed bastard offspring. You see what I'm saying? So my hope in telling you this information is that you'll begin to think, like, oh my God, that's a ghettolized way of thinking. Like for me, with the PPP loans, for example, people out here getting $20,000, $40,000. Okay, take $5,000 and fuck it off. Maybe you want to get your body done. Maybe you want to buy a bag or whatever. Maybe you want to move into a bigger home and you're gonna use that as a down payment for your nice car. Cool. Blow your $5,000. Spoil yourself. You deserve it. We was doing bad last year. Cool. But don't blow 10, 15 racks and then be left with 5. What business you gonna start with that? I had to fuck off. Like, we're gonna take my candle business, for example. I fucked off anywhere between $5,000 to $8,000 just teaching myself how to do it. What wax works better for me? What do I like? What herbs? Like, all of this shit, you know what I'm saying, costs money that I'm buying and I'm spending. Now I'm not liking how it came out. Scrap that. Let's get something new. Don't like that, scrap that, let's get something new. You see what I'm saying? Don't like these containers, scrap that, let's get something new. You see what I'm saying? So at what point do we want to invest in futuristic money, in future money? Because you could fuck off that $5,000, because money attract money. I ain't tripping, you know what I'm saying? Go buy your little $1,200 sneakers and your little bag and your little belt, because I tell you what, I sell more candles when I'm suited and booted than when I've just got on my Nike, some shit like this, right? Because, people want to spend money with money. It is what it is. You learn that in business school. That's why businessmen wear those 3-piece Armani suits and shit. We understand that. You know what I'm saying? So, cool. But why are you thinking why would you go to the mall and buy 3 or 4 $2,000 and $3,000 outfits and then now what you got? You got a $3,000 purse and can't even put a rack in it. That's that ghetto shit. That's that lower frequency shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, people think I'm ghetto because I talk loud. I can't hear that good, nigga. I had 15s in my trunk with a 4-pack before that shit was really in style. So, I can't hear that good. So, I talk loud. So, let's not equate me being a loud person with being ghetto. Who said that loud is ghetto? A lot of people that talk loud cannot hear good. And the first person that you want to hear when you're speaking is yourself. So, who said that? Who made that up? Because a lot of people in our culture, our voices naturally carry. You want to know why our voices naturally carry? Because when we do our rain dances and our rituals and we commune with the gods are God, like they brought their Catholicism over here, or confirm with the ancestors. We have to be able to hit those high octaves. So our voices are made to carry. We used to have to call out to our people. The lookout got to call out to your people that's way on the other side of the lake. Let them know it's safe to cross. No foxes, no coyotes over here. So our voices are made to carry. Our voice boxes are made different. There's a book called, is it Different Anatomies, or My Anatomy is Different? I need to put some lotion on my hands. I've been washing them all day. So excuse me. I'll be right back. Grab me the lotion. Rub it on my hands. So who said that was a bad thing? Who said it was a bad thing being able to audiate your voice to the point to where you could be heard in a crowd, where you can adequately deliver a speech? Somebody want to talk like this. You got to talk loud and with confidence and let a motherfucker know you here. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with being loud and well-spoken. But they demonize everything that is naturally us. We ain't never been no meek, miserable, scary people. Like, never have we ever. I love this lotion. But anyway, so what's ghetto to me is buying expensive things and you don't own a company. Let them give me some motherfucking money. Like I said, I might blow $5,000, might buy me some cool kicks, spoil my daughter, something, take my baby on a shopping spree or something. But what I'm not gonna do, not gonna do. Hold on, baby. What I'm not gonna do is blow my whole 20, blow my whole top, and not look out for one of my businesses. You know what I'm saying? My hair company will get some new containers. We'll get some labels working on that. My candle company will get some new something and get something working on that. And if I just don't re-up, I don't know where that oil came from. If I just don't re-up on everything and and start mass producing everything that I already produced, I'm going to invest it. You know what I'm saying? Even in self. Now, if I don't have no company ideas and I don't own no company, guess what? Sit on that money till you think of something to do with it. Like, that's ghetto. That's ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Not having it and never had it before, so you want to spend it real fast on everything you never had. Girl, boy, stop. Y'all tripping. Y'all are tripping. So, I feel as though this is a direct response to what they were trying to do. Alienate our way of thinking, because we was balling after slavery. We had the money we had then during slavery, we spent it with each other. We're worth $1 trillion now, but none of us are worth $1 trillion, so we don't spend it with each other. Back then, the dressmaker was black. The shoemaker was black. The repairman was black. Everybody who invented something was black. Blackity black, 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 black. Like on CD4, blackity black, the black, black. I would have been a good rapper because I got my emotion. Yeah, so like, why we don't get that? Why we don't get that? You know what I'm saying? They took us, put us in these projects, tore us apart, studied our every move, and figured out how we move. Like every year they study melanin and figure out how to use it to their advantage. Who are they using to study it on? All these black babies and stuff coming up missing. They done figured out how to put smart dust in melanin. Where they got the melanin from to experiment with? Because the only organic source of melanin here is us. So then you ask yourself, where they getting the melanin for the melatonin? I'm just asking questions y'all should be asking. Don't nobody want to know? So look. Now that we know what the projects were and the purpose of the ghetto, let's turn it around on the ass. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the ghetto being a place of dissension and a place of discontent, that should be a place of gathering. You know what I'm saying? Why would you wait for the government to come spray the piss out your staircase when you could just everybody in the ghetto, in the projects, you could put a flower on everybody's door. Hey, on Thursday, everybody boil some water, throw it in the stairs and sweep down the stairs. The shit'll always smell good and be clean. And it might always be wet, but it'll always be clean. And it won't be wet with piss. So at some point, we're gonna have to take us back. You know what I'm saying? At some point, we're going to take back our native tongue and say that we're the Indians and let them motherfuckers be the biracials. Like, that's not fair that the organic Indian has to be black and then the mixed bastard offspring gets to be the Indian and get the tribal rights. Okay, y'all. I just want to make this video while my daughter was in the shower. We getting ready to watch King Kong and Godzilla. But I just want to come on here real quick and let you know where that ghettolized mentality came from. And hopefully that we can fix that and realize that this is one big sociology experiment. You know what I'm saying? This is one big manipulation. This is one big, what do you call it when you, I can't think of the word. But it's just one big that. So we have to decompartmentalize ourselves and get back to loving each other, get back to being one. You know, stop looking for a light-skinned woman to have your kids and look for a good woman to have your kids. Stop looking for a man with good hair and pretty eyes to have children with, and just look for a good, responsible male adult to procreate with. You know what I'm saying? Let's take this fantasy veil off, because unfortunately we don't have the luxury of that. There's no reason why a dark-skinned sister that can cook, clean, great sex, all the things that, you know, companies, money, a hustler, you know, all the things that a man should want, there's no reason why she would be single versus this exotic biracial girl who's mixed with white and Japanese. Where the fuck these hoes be mixed with? Probably ain't got no black in them. Just put a perm on their head because a perm curls or relaxes. Side note, you know what I'm saying? Just to have a baby with her just because. And she can't cook, can't clean. All she can do is order out. Don't even know how to raise your kids. Or comb your kids' hair when you do get them. You know what I mean? So, let's take the vanity out of it. Let's get out of the social construct that was forced upon us. Let's start thinking on a higher mindset. And let's stop being dope boys and dope girls. Like, if you got enough money to start a corporation, do that. All your little dope homeboys that you selling dope with, get with them and see who can do what. You know what I'm saying? A tire shop, a lawn care service, hire managers. You know, y'all ain't got to do the work. You know what I'm saying? Lawn care service, flip properties, anything. If you can touch $100,000 right now, there's no reason why you can't go buy no cheap $80,000 house or pay the back taxes on some of this land and flip it. There's no reason for that. Why all the white people, developers, coming and buying all this land, like on the north side, for example, and y'all not buying it? When three dope boys can put their money together and have $1 million and start a neighborhood, start the construction on a neighborhood, but nope. Y'all just want to buy Versace. No judgment. That's that ghetto shit. That's that white ice is cold to the black ice mentality. But okay, child. I'm going to give y'all another example before I go, because this shit is funny. McDonald's will fuck up your order 50 million times and put mustard on your shit when you ask for extra mayonnaise. Don't ask for too much mayonnaise. They make it all sloppy and it be sliding off and everything. Fuck up your order many times, but you will steady go back. Let a black company fuck up your shit one time. Oh, black-owned companies are so unprofessional. Bitch at Comcast and get an attitude with you 50 million times and she having a bad day. You be like, it ain't my fault you work at Comcast, and roll over, play dead, and pay what you got to pay and leave it alone. Let a black girl, a black-owned company have a, that's why I don't do business with black folk. Black folk unprofessional. Like, you can't hire a bad employee. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. We are so hard on each other. But steady giving the colonizer room to make a mistake, you know what I'm saying? Forgiveness, you know what I'm saying? Apprehension to criticize them. All that shit. All the things that the patience and love and consideration that you should be affording your black-owned businesses, you're not. Look at my video down below that black people are the reason why black businesses fail. All right, y'all. It's time for me to go watch my movie. I love you guys. This is Black Span. I'm out.